welcome to the podcast, Jonny Wilkinson.
Thanks for having me.
Nice to have you with us. Let's start as we always do. What, in your mind, is high performance?
I think high performance is about, if you'd asked me some of these, I imagine these questions coming up, midway through my career, you get a very different answer than towards the end. And essentially it's a very, very different answer to where I am now, which is high performance when I was younger was about outcomes. I'd have painted a picture of, it was all about whether the ball went through the post, whether the pass hit this, whether it's, hit the mark, whether the guy was tackled, whether he went backwards. All of these things were written up on a stat sheet, and that defined who you are and whether you're a success and what have you. As I got further down, my exploration of performance and potential, all these things, start to understand that for me, high performance is about absolute engagement. Just there's kind of, I looked at it more now instead of at the time of playing rugby. It was more about what does a good game look like? What does a good number 10 look like? What does a good career look like? I look at it now as being like, what would be a great life lived? And no answer satisfied me until I sort of started to come to something which started to vaguely feel right, which was all of me in every moment. And that's performance. You're either fully attentive and engaged, or you're not. But it was a classic journey towards heading down a dark hole. There's no other way for it to go, because and the inevitable part of that cycle is, as I was succeeding a bit more, I was reinforcing those old ideas. They were getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and you could hear it in the way I was speaking. And I call that, doesn't matter what those ideas are, whether they're negative or positive about yourself, when they get reinforced, they become more important. Therefore, I call that self-importance. Knowing who you are with more and more surety becomes self-importance. And that self-importance was clearly evident in everything I spoke about. So as an 18-year-old, you mentioned that childlike side. I went to Newcastle as an 18-year-old. I'm stood around Inga Twiggy-Marler and Rob Andrew and Dean Ryan and Pat Lam and these, Gary Armstrong, Doddy Weir, all these amazing, I mean, I could name the lot. I just thought I'll just name the internationals. I'm like, oh shit, the entire team, the international team. And I was just a kid in there. And if I got 5 minutes, or if I got 2 minutes or one play in the team run before a game, I was on the bench most of the time in that first year, or for the first half of the year. If I got on the team run, the session before the game, if I got on there for one play, I was kind of like, whoa. When I did get on there, I was just like, look what I'm going to give it. Fast forward 8-10 years, I'm the guy in the change room, and the only thing I'm talking about is pressure, expectation. I'm judging the hell out of everyone around me. You're not professional. Oh, that guy's a waste of time. He'll never make it. No, he needs to be like this. Oh God, that coaching's rubbish. They should be. This is what I'm talking like. Go back 10 years. I'm just opportunity. I'm a walking embodiment of opportunity and passion. Now, the only result of that is self-importance, because when I was 18, I'm like, I'm a nobody. I've got nothing to lose. I'm just exploring. Now I'm a somebody. I've got everything to lose, and that's why I'm feeling pressure. I've become solid, so those forces are all compressing me. Whereas when I'm nothing, I'm just fluid, hence flow. So nothing can, wind blows me this way, I don't need to stand against it because I'm not this direction, I'll go any direction. You look at the most beautiful geniuses on the field, they're not solid, so they bend, they flow. They
hold your beliefs lightly.
Look at a Zidane or a Federer. The ball goes here, it's kind of like they don't expect anything, or they expect everything at the same time. It's the same thing. It's otherwise known as being completely open. The fact is, you ask any coach or captain or player, what do you want from your team? I want them to perform brilliantly. So what do you need them to feel? I want them to feel at their very best. So if that's the case, look at everything you're doing. What do I need for myself? I want to feel liberated. Okay, is what you're doing liberating you, or doing the opposite? Is what you're doing for your team allowing them to be all they can be, or are you needing them to be how you want them to be? I have a situation now, you're mentioning about the conventional idea of what I brought to the game was a lot of practice and dedication. Now, when that was through passion, it's not work, it's not dedication. It's just enjoying your damn life. It's doing what you love doing and spending all your time doing it. I say that to anyone, what they'll tell you is it sounds like a holiday. That's what it was. It was a choice. Now, when it becomes effort, people think that's somehow courageous and worthy. It's like, no, it's just a loss of passion. And what that means is there's no new space. If anyone feels like they're improving and they're growing, there'll be passion. No one steps away from a journey when you feel like they've just opened you don't go into a house and go, oh, this is rubbish. And then you see a door and you're like, that door's unlocked. Wow. And then just walk off. You go in the door. You're suddenly like, I wonder what's in there. That's what the journey is. So the journey of that is to reveal new space in everything. Reveal the space of opportunity in disappointment. Reveal the space of opportunity in losing. Now, there was stories about change or invincibility for me was that people were standing there being like, we haven't lost, we're unbeaten, or we can do this, we're not going to lose. Now, that same invincibility or sense of invincibility also parades itself in this feeling deep down of being like, I hope the opposition don't travel well. I hope their lead guy's injured. I hope that guy's not playing or he has a tough game. I hope the ref's on our side or that wind dies down. I mean, there's no invincibility there at all. Now look at the invincibility of someone that sits in the change room and says, you know what, if we win, that's going to be awesome. And I'm going to do everything to win. But if things don't go my way, I know that's going to bring out so much more of me. So I would love to win this game, but I would also love to be challenged and to not have it my way. Now that's invincibility.
Sure.
What I create, I went back as far as how I feel. And then when I got older, I tried to go back to how I see things, but I never went back to exploring how I see myself. And as a result, you just end up creating more and more problems. It's like trying to feel differently than how you see things. No chance. Trying to see things differently to how you start to see yourself won't work. But most people talk about, oh, if you keep doing the same thing, you'll keep getting the same thing. It's like, well, if you keep seeing yourself the same way, the whole thing's done. So there has to be a desire to look inwards honestly at some of the...
Feels like a very brave thing to do, though. It kind of...
it
panics me a little bit when I think about doing it, you know?
Yeah, but I think because the idea being is that if all I've been through has become my worth and my value, then letting that go is, of course, you're letting go of everything. But actually, my experience is you just ask, how do you feel at your very best?
But what if...
And the answer to that is I feel liberated. And when you're at your very best, are you thinking about who I am and how I'm a great person? No, you're just free of those thoughts. So in a way, every moment you get where you're outside of thought, you're engaged.
What